Wow. Well,
So we just recorded the best content
Yes.
we've probably ever put down in
That's
like
right.
8 years.
but you guys
Yeah.
will never know.
This is just going to be a tribute to it.
That's right.
Welcome to the Defiance and Obedience Podcast, seeking to build strong men in the home and public square. And here's your hosts, Josh, the Second Amendment absolutist, and Ian, the conspiracy guy.
What you got there on your cup, Ian?
You know, we got a new sticker design.
That's right.
And we tested it out on some cloth stickers, which are kind of interesting.
I really like. It's kind of feels like a jeans type of
Yeah,
material. I
it's
like it a lot.
It's almost a patch type sticker thing.
Yeah.
Kind of cool. Trying out a new design.
Should we put them on our Woodinville
Yeah.
bottles for tonight? We need one that'll fit in that little weird corner right there.
I was wondering what that was.
Yeah,
Is it supposed to be a stave or something?
Yeah. So we've got, Woodinville Whiskey's latest bottle design. We've been working on this one for a couple of years. It looks kind of like it could be a river. It could be like a granite.
Yeah, almost stone like.
Yeah, or it could be like a iceberg. But it's an interesting shape around the top where it is back to the kind of smoother glass, but it's kind of got
It's got a right triangle
a
there.
little triangle thing going on. So I don't know what the end goal is to that one.
Seem like while it has like the outward general form is very measured and very true. The actual texture is more loose and more less strict to form. It's more free and kind of interesting texture and
It's I didn't even notice this, but it does have the old Woodinville font across the bottom there. It's pretty cool. It's a departure, but you still look at it and you realize it's Woodinville. It's still got the original neck. I have heard, I'll actually have to test it out. I've heard that it does not drip like the old ones do.
Oh.
So let's find out.
Okay.
That does not seem to drip too bad. The other ones would drip a good bit.
Okay. I'm like, I don't think you can have a drip proof glass lid.
That is
neck.
noticeable. So instead of the getting super nerd level here, but man, that smells amazing, by the way. But it does have kind of some sharper edges around it. So this is the straight bourbon whiskey finished on toasted Washington State Applewood staves. And they've knocked it down because they're selling this in large quantities now. They've knocked it down to 45%. I've not had it, I don't think, at that level. Oh, man, it smells. I had about this much with Taylor to celebrate his house acquisition.
Okay.
But other than that, it's the only whiskey I've had in 3 months. So.
Wow. Special.
Wow.
There's a lot coming through there.
There is. Yeah, I actually I do like that better at 45, which I am surprised about.
Now, an Applewood stave. So that's literally the wood of an apple tree?
Yep.
Okay.
So they basically, from what I remember, it's been a few years since this one came out. And they may have even changed it a little bit, but I doubt it. But if my recollection is correct, they basically spent at least 2 years, because it's a straight bourbon, in standard barrels. I think it was more like 5 or 6. And yes, I think everything they have is coming out at 6 years now. This one doesn't have an age statement on it, but the last year or so were spent with Applewood staves. So just a probably 2-inch wide by 3 foot long stave. I don't know how many of them put into, I'm guessing, stainless at that point. So they probably dump them from their barrels and put them into stainless and then throw the Applewood in, so it's not getting any more of the oak. and getting some of the applewood flavor. And I think that those staves are probably toasted. Oh, yeah. They're probably not charred. That's my guess.
So just the difference being the degree of burn.
Yeah. So toast, literally, it'll look like toast. It'll get that, and that'll bring that's designed to bring a certain amount of sugars out. I don't know what that does to tannins. I think the tannins are reduced with the actual char, and the char will look like alligator skin, depending on. Yeah. There's like 4 levels of char, and it'll look like black alligator skin.
Okay. So,
yeah. That's my guess on this. I actually haven't talked to them about that, but just with the flavor profile, that's my guess, is that they're toasted. So don't. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, it says toasted.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, I mean, as we speak, we're gonna have our school fundraiser feast tonight. We talked about it. Man, it's probably 5-6 weeks ago on the podcast.
Yeah, that's right.
Mentioned it, and it's finally here. Yeah. It's usually one of the highlights of the year for the school.
Yeah.
Just gathering, lots of friends and family, supporters of the school, to not just raise money, but really give a glimpse into our culture and what we're doing. And
that's usually when I invite people. It's like, hey, come and just see like what we are doing. Like just that the love, the joy, and the culture that's there. Like it is a feast. You know? It's just the whole spirit of it is a feast.
Yeah, totally. Which I do think, we were talking about this a little bit pre-show.
Yeah, I had a conversation with somebody that doesn't disagree with what we're doing, but was looking at it from like a fundraising standpoint.
Yeah.
Like how important is having alcohol there?
Which that comment actually only makes sense in like Christian Baptist circles.
Like everybody else understands.
Anywhere else, you're like, you don't have alcohol and you're trying to raise money. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So it is strategic in a different way. It is not.
It is. It's not like we're trying to be like the world. We're actually looking at.
And it's not trying to, grease up our givers. It's not trying to loosen them up and hopefully they'll give more. It's
we actually don't want them to be giving with a altered mind.
No. It's actually part of the feast. Like it is.
Because there's a very important feast in Christian culture that involved as one of its sacraments wine, and
I think Jesus explicitly said like Welch's.
Maybe
he used a brand name.
I think it was children's grape juice. It was generic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And fishy crackers.
And fishy. Oh man, I'm so glad to not eat those things anymore.
I love them.
Really?
Just not for communion.
Well,
actually, I like Cheez-Its. But.
I don't mind a fishy, like a actual fishy cracker, but the little, I mean, you could not get a cracker smaller than these crackers were. Like for communion.
Oh,
they were They were like an 1/8 inch wide.
I got stuck between my tooth. Yeah.
And it could actually get.
Yeah.
It could fly through my gap easily.
You'd be like, I
lost it.
Little filler for a couple days. This is what normal people are like.
Guys, nowhere else in the world do these things qualify as crackers.
Yeah,
like,
no way.
They're like
toothpicks,
right,
useless toothpicks.
Half a toothpick.
Yeah.
And they get stuck in your teeth because they're too small. They're so small that they just like fit right in your molar. You know? But I mean, I do think that is related. Where we, as a Baptist culture, have kind of messed up communion alone, and so if we don't even take that seriously in the sense
if we don't even obey the sacraments, because grape juice is disobedience.
It says wine.
Yep.
Yeah, but I mean, then we're facilitating disobedience at our church because we do give that as an option.
I know.
Which I do think we should just rip the Band-Aid off and move on. Because I do think it's one of those areas where it's like, hey, Scripture says wine. Seems pretty easy. Seems us literal text people I would think we would take that literally, but we have other categories that are like bumping into that and forcing our reinterpretation or.
Yeah. Our children they're each allowed one time to try grape juice, because grape juice is just kind of a garbage drink anyway.
It's just sugar. Like
we've never, I can't recall ever having grape juice in this generation of Walton's house.
Yeah.
Like growing up, we had that kind of stuff, but we rarely have apple juice unless we made it ourselves. I just don't ever remember having grape juice. It's just something that it's not a quality drink.
Yeah.
And
maybe as like a popsicle or something.
Yeah, probably as I mean,
but it's because it's full
like,
of sugar.
Yeah, I'm not saying we don't have. It's just one of those things there's not a category for that kind of drink in our household. We just don't think about it.
Right.
And so our kids actually wanted to try it in communion, because they're like, we've never had grape juice before. We've had wine, and so I was like, okay, you can try it once. It's definitely not going to be your first communion.
Yeah.
But you can try it later on. And
yeah, my kids aren't allowed to grab the wine or grab the grape juice.
Yeah.
Just because I'm like, no, this is what we do.
Yep.
Like this is that. It is actually, I mean, you bring up the point about like who just sits down and drinks grape juice.
Yeah.
Like, I think there is a point in bringing your best goods to like good bread, good.
Yeah.
Like this is the sacrament that we hold, that reminds us that Jesus gave his body and his blood for us. It is the most significant thing that we do as a sacrament on a regular basis. And we have like the large Baptist culture, evangelical culture has, I think, watered it down with grape juice.
Yeah.
And I think I think you could, I've heard the arguments of how they get there, but I just think it cheapens the whole thing. It's like, well, it has the same starting, like organic substance, and you're like,
maybe
okay,
at some point it did. I doubt it
just
does
like my body is majority water, so is a beaver. You know, like
exactly.
We're different
pretty much
things.
The same, right?
I just think we don't approach it from that category. We approach it from, well, it's technically grapes and it's technically bread. And we're like, I don't even think that's bread.
Yeah, neither.
Yeah, it's like grape nuts. It's neither. It's not grape or nuts.
Yep, exactly. It is a part of Christian culture to bring the best and celebrate with it. And so in all that we're doing, it is that. And so I would not, it would not be the same without those things. And at any time, I'm not drinking too much of any of it, but especially right now, I mean, I probably will forego wine because I'll be having, a little bit more whiskey tonight than I had right now. And, I'm trying to be careful of my alcohol intake for health reasons. Hopefully very temporary. And
intake of a lot of things.
Yeah, a lot of things. Yeah, I've cut out all kinds of things. So, sugar and all kinds of really tasty, wonderful things. So,
right. And I think it comes back to, your how we look at life, and do we see it all as gift from God, or do we see it as, these things? God might have given. I mean, the Bible talks a lot about wine. There's lots of passages about,
but the
celebration.
The same people that ignore those are also the ones that are like, Jesus was a lamb and he never, said anything that hurt people's feelings, and they just miss the other parts of that. So they think of wine, they only think of drunkenness. They think of Jesus, and they think of like, some high as a kite.
Maybe, and you probably have
flower
a couple,
child or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, if it was a Venn diagram, you probably have these different circles.
Yeah.
Within evangelicalism. Watch me mess up that word after the video.
Yeah, your brain's bent this way. You've been broken.
But some of them, they don't agree on these other things. They might not all see the sissified version of Jesus, but they do agree on no alcohol. And I think a lot of times, like I said before we started recording, I don't have a problem with people abstaining, but when it's abstaining out of fear, and when it's just removing it completely because what would other people think?
That's the worst one. Like if it's like, hey, look, I have realized that, I don't have control over this, and I, like I had a friend that he did not drink. He did not have a problem with it, but he didn't drink because he was like half Cambodian, and he's like, he actually had half a beer with me one time, and he was like, I'm sorry, I'm like, it was like a 6% stout, and he got halfway through it, and he's like, oh, I can kind of feel that. Wow. And so like, I understand that. Like if your body composition just can't handle that, like if you get drunk off half a beer, then stop. Don't have any.
Or have a sip.
Yeah, exactly.
But I do think, we all have to make choices of what kind of culture we build, what culture we pass on to our kids. And I do want, of course, we're going to have a bent to whatever we do that our kids are going to want to improve upon, which is great. Like that's the nature
I'm
of
encouraging that even now. Like, hey, you're going to see things that you're not going to like, and don't feel uncomfortable with that. As long as you are turning away from where I'm less biblical and being more biblical, like that's where I want to see those improvements. I want to give you a foundation that you can be building on.
Yeah. And so, hopefully we don't go the other way where we're just like, encouraging excess, like we do like, and the reason we're talking about it, because the feast, we have all kinds of alcohol at it. It's not a thing where the culture there is not everyone, just getting full glasses and just going back for more as a, like, this is what we're doing. We're drinking. It's this is complementing the meal because it's a feast. Like it feels wrong in my mind to call it a feast and then have like, some sort of sugary drink as the main.
Are we?
Yeah, we're back. I don't know.
I heard. I didn't know if that was a noise I made in my head or
that was R2D2 talking. But yeah, it. I just think it doesn't always have to be, it doesn't have to be a top shelf steak or necessarily top shelf whiskey, although preferably. But I think it's more about in how you do it, how you present it, and the fact that you're there with a heart of gratefulness. Like the gratitude is just coming out through how you're serving the people, the air of how you present from the front, how you ask even for donations or things like that. Like that
by giving. That's the thing, is like it is. We're creating a culture of giving, and with it being a fundraiser, we're very clear it is a fundraiser, but we want to give to you so that it carries out your desire for more giving. Yeah,
and maybe they're inspired to go back to wherever they are and in their little community and give there, and like, hey, we need to step up our game.
I think that is one of the biggest things about the way that we feast, is that people hopefully are coming away from that and going, I not only do I want more of that, but I want to give more of that. I think that's a big one. So.
Yeah, I think in general, if you're always focused on gratitude and giving, and like giving of your time, giving of yourself for one another, you're probably going to be fine. Of course, there's other categories you got to get right within that, but there's a lot of ways you can get it wrong. But I think if you always have that flavor or aroma about you, then that you're going to impart the right type of stuff to your kids and to others around you.
Sure.
We got this little beer here sitting in front of us. It's a 3 Floyds. So 3 Floyds, they just recently started distributing up here. They are an award-winning brewery out of Munster, Indiana.
Oh.
They have won many awards for their beers. This is the Zombie Ice. It's a undead double pale ale
With lots of Citra.
Yeah, it says it's not normal on the side of the can.
Nice. I like Citra, so.
Yeah, so they, I think their most famous one is probably the Zombie Dust, and that's the standard pale ale.
Okay.
This is maybe, I don't know if it's a similar recipe. This is the double version. And so it's kind of fun to get beer that isn't typically distributed around here.
Yeah.
Munster, Indiana. Is it Munster or Munster? I don't know.
I didn't know there was a Munster. I was thinking Muncie. But is that Indiana? Muncie?
Don't quiz me on places.
Oh, that's
The
good.
town of Munster, Indiana.
Is it skunky? Is that what that is? I mean, in all the good ways. It's earthy. It's got some weight to it. Like,
Yeah, it's not. It's definitely not got the dankness really. Definitely got a lot of nose on it. You know, it's really floral.
Yeah.
Crafted with an unholy amount of Citra hops, this double undead pale ale heralds the zombie evolution after the dust has settled from the apocalypse. But it's interesting that it's a double pale. Wow. Well,
So we just recorded the best content
Yes.
we've probably ever put down in
That's
like
right.
8 years.
but you guys
Yeah.
will never know.
This is just going to be a tribute to it.
That's right. So we did finish talking about the Zombie Ice
Yeah.
and how it's out of Munster, Indiana, and they've won lots of awards for their beers. And it's pretty good. It's serviceable, but I mean, we weren't blown away. I actually think you would probably like the Zombie Dust better. I did try that one.
Is it a little bit brighter?
Yeah, I would say it's brighter. I think the ABV on this might just weigh it down a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I like it. It reminds me of like a handful of others, and so that's not where it's like mind blowing. A brighter one would be one that I'm like, okay, cool. I could have a couple of those over, a day of sitting on the beach. This would be like one where, I want to just have one beer on a Friday night, just sit on the front porch.
Yeah.
This would be that one,
Right.
where you want the IPA, kind of it's a pale, but
it drinks like an IPA.
It drinks like an IPA. So I would not turn away from it.
Right. And yeah, so I found this one at the Republic place here in town. They've started to get it. I'm sure other beer joints around have started to get it. I doubt, like Hagen and stuff like that have started to get.
Well, like you said, it's always fun to find. I mean, that's why the Republic shop and Josh's Taps and Caps and Norms are so fun, because you can go there and find things that are new and not something you're going to see in every gas station.
Yep.
I mean, it is insane just going in and finding like 40 different IPAs and one of the exact same stout supporters that you see everywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, man, there's all kinds of variety that's all the same.
Yeah.
And so it is fun to go to some of these places and check them out.
Yeah, and there are some grocery stores like the Marysville Hagen that gets a decent variety of stuff that you won't find at Safeway and stuff like that. I think it really depends on the beer buyer, like the alcohol buyer that they have there. The one that used to be there, I was on a first-name basis with, and I would just request things. Like, it was like maybe 2017 or something, and I was like, hey, I noticed you got some Dogfish Head, but like I really like their pumpkin beer, beer that they have
I remember that one,
every fall. I don't like a lot of pumpkin beers, but that's one that just had a little bit of spice in it, and I don't know, I really enjoyed, and I could get it easily when we lived in North Carolina. And I was like, hey, do you think you could get any of that? And she's like, I'll check. And then the next fall, it was there.
That's awesome. Yeah, gotta love that.
Yeah, and but now like they still get it. It's probably just on their routine that you always get this every fall.
Yeah,
but the 6-packs are like, I don't know, like $17. Like it's something stupid because it's from the East Coast or whatever, I guess. But, but I've noticed that Hagen started to get some great Notion stuff. They do a lot of
man. Yeah, I love their
stouts
stuff.
And stuff.
Yep.
And some good IPAs.
A lot of those up on the wall.
Yeah. But what we moved to next was we were talking about Indian truckers.
Yeah.
And how Not the Bee is just a treasure trove of things. A lot related to Indian truckers right now because a lot of times they don't speak fluent English.
Yeah.
And so,
well, the reason that this has become a problem, because I mean, there's a lot of people that don't speak fluent English from different countries, but there's been a few states like ours in California, and I think there's one other one, probably Minnesota. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I don't know.
Yeah.
That are just throwing out driver's licenses left and right, and then that is allowing them to go and further their licensing without their capabilities.
You can't build in those states easily, but you can get a license.
Well, they don't like
who you are.
Productivity.
Right.
They try to decrease productivity as much as possible.
Yes, for sure.
So if we can just put a bunch of incompetence out on the road, then that's just demoralizing and divisive, and so they like doing that.
Right. And I was saying how these judges that let people off easily are. I mean.
Yeah, because there was the one in Canada.
That killed a mother, and she was also an Olympic skater, just from driving negligence, and only gave him 2.5 years in prison, which is absurd.
Yeah.
You made a comment about negligent judges, specifically here in the U.S., that probably do have nefarious means or desires that they.
Yeah, I mean, I think we need to have a way to not only punish trucking companies that hire incompetent truckers, and then the comment about police agencies that hire officers that like were sexting 13-year-old girls while on the job. Abusing people, stalking people actively, being abusive, and then they get busted from one and go and get rehired at another. We've just seen a ton of that. Ones that like pull over sober drivers and bust them for being under the influence. That kind of thing has been huge lately. And so if we're going to be, busting trucking companies, how about we bust bad police agencies, and how about we bust bad judges that, will, for selling a single cigarette, they'll give you 5 years and $100,000 fines, but you run over a mother, and we're going to give you 2 years,
Right. Well, this is Not the Bee is linking to past posts of themselves, like that they made, like this last October, intoxicated driver for Sikh trucking company kills 3 people on California highway. And it says that these Sikh Indians have more than 12,000 trucking companies and now make up 20% of the drivers in Canada and the United States, estimated 150,000 drivers, and hire almost exclusively Sikh employees, including relatives and friends, who do not have work visas. So and they link to 3 different specific instances where it's been reported on where that they've done that.
And they all carry knives as part of their religion.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I believe it. But then
I'm totally fine with that. I carry one as part of my religion. A gun.
At the bottom, they said, now if we can just change the dock workers union's stupid rules, and they link to an X article. And that's where we finally get caught up with what we didn't record before, but they were explaining that they International Longshoremen's Association has these crazy touch fees. You know, where in a lot of the world defers this. You know, they try to basically move as much as they can through water to save the roads. Yeah, and we don't do that in the U.S.
We collapse bridges
in the U.S. Instead, so in Europe, it goes from a terminal onto a barge. The barge sails to a smaller port, and then onto a truck and a short drive to the warehouse.
I would be interested to see what our capabilities are to do that, and how much we're doing that. Because I can think of like the Columbia here. You know, we could get stuff somewhat into Washington through the Columbia. Obviously, the Mississippi. But how many are not taking advantage?
So you're curious about how many?
I'm curious about, you know, how, like, what our capabilities are for bringing things inland via waterways. Yeah. And how we are or not doing that. Because I, with the little bit of time that I've spent over in Europe, I can see waterways being a much more effective means of transporting things inland. Whereas...
And the East Coast, I feel like...
More so.
Yeah. More so. Yeah, so I don't know. But this guy was basically saying that the longshoremen's, I guess they have policies that it says because every time the union crane touches a container, the union rakes in a massive fee. Yeah. So like they don't want it to get offloaded down the road. They want it to offload it right here because then they get paid, I guess. Yeah. Is the thing.
There's ways to make that work. If we are not using a capability to bring things inland via waterways, there's ways to make that beneficial for everybody, including freeing up our roadways, having less, non-English reading drivers on the roads. So I think we need to be correctly exploiting every venue to ease the weight on the roads and the lack of skill off the roads, and getting the longshoremen their proper due and all that kind of stuff.
Right. And just for, this will be a shorter episode because I don't know what's happening, but the recording is not going smoothly. But I figured I'd play just a piece of this this song it's made after the Lego Everything is Awesome idea, but it's a little twist on it, made by the current runner-up candidate for LA mayor, Spencer Pratt.
Everything is awful. Everything is hell when you're part of the scene. Karen Bass is awful and burning down our streets. Dirty needles, human waste. We just named two awful things: a stolen car, a burned down house. You know what's awful? Everything. Moms in shock, hit the locks. A camp of addicts down the block. Lots of tents, a very big mess. Awful scenes are not the best. Camps, traps, and crap, they're awful. Crack, smack, and shacks, they're awful. Slums, and scum, and bums, that's awful. Everything you see or smell or touch is awful. Karen, this is awful.
Makes me want to dance like a white boy.
Yeah, right.
Oh, it's just the Trump.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
It is good.
I mean, it's just a fun take, of course.
You gotta laugh so you don't cry.
Yeah.
It's just
they're depicting scenes of, LA just on fire, of people at homeless camp shooting each other.
Lego poop in the streets.
Yeah, poop in the streets.
Yep.
I mean, it really is showing what is actually happening.
Yeah.
It's comedy, but it's
really good satire.
Right.
It's the fool, showing the king and his court up for the corruption that they have.
Yeah, and I mean, they can't see that it's like she's part of the problem. Like she thinks, I don't know what she thinks. She might be, along with those judges, just
stupid liar.
Stupid liar. I don't know her well enough, but we need more. I don't really know anything about the Spencer Pratt guy other than he's determined to change things, and let's hope that's for the better.
Yeah.
Because LA does affect the rest of the United States.
I mean, because we got our foolish governor that, may his bones grow brittle and his, feet be clubbed. But, he just wants to copy everything they're doing and make it worse. So,
right.
You know what is better? We didn't talk about this yet, but I got to throw it out there because this is in the gun world. I think we touched on it last time with Harmeet Dillon going after Denver and Colorado. They are going after Virginia, I think now. The way that particular lawsuit, I think it is, that they're waging against them is, from the experts that I'm hearing, are saying that it's designed to be pushed all the way to the Supreme Court, and it's written in such a way that it should... it's a very effective way to start crushing all states that think that they can disobey the Constitution. So I've got more, hesitant to say it, but more hope than I've ever had in my entire life that there are some changes that are in the works that could be long-term for the better. Okay. And short-term, like in the next 5 years, I think could be very beneficial for everybody. So I have not been more excited to open up the different lawyer YouTubers videos to see what they're saying, because typically you see a lot of like sweeping changes coming from this thing, and then the whole caveat is, if this were to happen, this could be a good thing, and it never happens. Yeah. But these are things that are actually happening that are coming from the top down that are hugely beneficial for all of us. So,
and there's a new ATF director, right?
Yeah, it seems like he is doing well. They've and I still haven't seen the other 11 changes on top of the 34 that came down his first day. But basically, they're all on the registry, and so that gives us a chance to comment on them. And then we should start seeing some changes, I think, in the next 3 or 4 months based on those comments.
He's doing well other than abolishing his own agency.
Yeah, I mean, and you know what? Like, what he's actually doing is fundamentally changing the outlook of the agency. Now, that has to actually be done by law and not just by... Like, this can be changed with the next ATF director. Yeah. So, but it's the right direction. And I think it's, I'll get some grief from some people on this, but I think it's actually what the foot soldier of the ATF really does prefer. I mean, we definitely have corrupt, incompetent, evil ATF agents, but I think by and large we have a lot of good ones that aren't looking at going after, a guy that just likes guns. They're actually wanting to go after bad guys. Sure. But yeah, I'm actually seeing some good things that are coming down from the top, from Harmeet Dillon and the ATF director. Some actual lawsuits that are taking place that seem like they'll have some force behind them. So
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, we heard nothing but bad things during the Biden administration, and you never know what you're going to get with Trump.
Yeah. I still do not believe that he is super pro Second Amendment, but I think he is pro. I think he's more anti-regulation. Yeah. And more of letting live kind of an attitude, and so that carries its way through. And makes things more permissive, and just in general for business, for for freedoms and all that. So
right, because what did he interjected on one of those? Was it one of the Minnesota shootings? Like, what is he doing bringing a gun or something like that? And it was like, maybe sit out.
Exactly. Talk to your son about this stuff. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, we got to get going because we got things to do related to the feast and other things. There's just a lot going on today, which is good. Yep. we're rushing into the summer. That is going to be here before we know it. I think we got about 4 weeks left.
I know. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Yeah.
But
might be doing more, recording from your backyard or mine.
Yeah, right.
So,
yeah, we're around here less. But that's always good. Looking forward to it, and who knows what the summer brings? But there's plenty of opportunities to weld defiance and obedience, right?
Oh yeah.
More than ever. Yeah, in your own home, in how you interact with your local government, how you articulate things to your kids about what's happening in the world and the news, being like our sweatshirt says, loyalty is on God's terms, you know, and so how do you articulate that we are men of God, and we do obey authorities that he puts over us, but not in everything, because they don't have authority over everything. Yep. So
knowing how to do that.
That's
very
right.
important.
Which is a lifelong journey. So keep learning, keep growing, be humble, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of the Defiance and Obedience podcast. Come back next time for another dose of constructive contrarianism, curious musings, and fatherhood direction.
They were like an 1/8 inch wide.
I got sucked between my tooth. Yeah.
And it could actually get...
Yeah.
It could fly through my gap easily.
You'd be like,
I lost
got a
it.
little filler for a couple days. This is what normal people are like.